I want you to do something for me right now. Take your age, just your age, and I want you to subtract it from 75 and then multiply that times 52. That number, that's roughly how many weeks of go-go retirement that you have left. The years where you have enough energy, health, and ideally financial freedom to really live. Now, how does that make you feel? If it made you uncomfortable, good. Stay with me because this might be the most important thing I ever say on this channel. Hi, I'm Jeff Kikel, the stress-free retirement guy. My whole career has been built around helping people reach what I call Freedom Day. The first day you wake up and you don't have to go anywhere. You have a work optional lifestyle. And one of the most powerful lessons I've learned, both from 30 years as a financial advisor and from my own Freedom Day in 2022, is that time is one resource that you cannot buy back. Money, you can rebuild. Time, it only goes in one direction. So let's talk about what really means for your retirement plan. So we've talked about this before, but there's really three phases of retirement. There's the go-go years, typically from about age 60 to 75, the slow-go years from 75 to 85, and the no-go years, typically 85 and beyond. And timing really matters. Now, I originally got this concept from my mentor, Tom Hegna, one of the foremost retirement experts in the country. In your go-go years, once again, roughly 60 to 75, those are your high energy, healthy, able to do anything you've planned years. Then you reach the slow go years, roughly 75 to 85. Once again, you're still active, but your pace naturally slows. Travel can become a little bit harder. Your bucket list items get crossed off early on, and you just may not want to be sitting on an airplane for 18 hours like you would early. Then you reach your no-go years. That's 85 plus, where most of your spending on discretionary stops or it drops dramatically, and healthcare and other care needs rise at that point. This is what's termed in our industry as the retirement smile. Spending peaks early, dips in the middle, and then rises for care costs at the end. The implication is the years where you can really live in retirement are the fullest, and finite and front loaded in your retirement plan. Now, two, what that one more year actually costs you. Most people think in dollars. One more year equals one more year of salary. True. But there is a hidden cost. One fewer go-go year, and you can't earn those back. One of the things that I learned, with one of my clients, and he's one of my favorite clients. He retired. He was a business owner, retired. His wife had a heart transplant, and he was really concerned about making sure that he had health care for her. Certainly had to do that, so he retired from the business, but then continued to work there as an employee. Unfortunately, his wife died. And, for him, those were years that they could have traveled more. You never know what's going to happen in those instances. Thinking that, a heart transplant, she would have many years, and she just didn't have that. So, you want to look at that just one more year, or just if I could get over this hump, it can cost you more than you ever expect. It's real. It's a trap. And it's almost always driven by fear, not really a financial need. So how do you calculate your go-go window? And what do you do? Well, we did that exercise already. You take 75, you subtract your age, you multiply by 52, and your estimated go-go weeks are remaining. So if you're 60 today and you're doing this calculation, you have 1,000 weeks left. Actually, you have 999 weeks left at this point. So write down now 5 things that you've always said you would do in retirement. How many of those require energy, travel, physical ability? Those belong in your go-go years, not your slow-go years. This isn't about fear, it's about design. Build your retirement around your go-go window first. And that might even be, hey, we're going to plan to, or we may retire a little bit earlier, but then work part-time enough to pay for some of these things that we're looking at doing, or enough to cover our base cost before we get to Social Security. And then we can use our investment accounts to actually do some of the travel that we wanted to do. So finally, the stress-free reframe is urgency is a gift, not a curse. Some people hear this and feel anxious. That's okay, but let it motivate you, not paralyze you. Knowing your window focuses on planning. It clarifies what matters and what you can defer and what you can't. Now, my Freedom Day taught me this firsthand. I didn't really I've done this for years. I've worked with clients and I honestly did not have a clear picture because it came upon me faster than I had expected. It wasn't something I could plan for. My business partner actually came to me and said he wanted to buy me out. So I did what I do best, which is I immediately went into attack mode and said, okay, what do I need to do? I'm not going to have my job anymore. I'm not going to have my identity as a business owner. Of course, I own other businesses, but I'm not going to have my identity as that financial planner anymore. So what do I have to do? I need to start a new practice right away. And I did that. And I drove myself crazy for probably the first 8 to 9 months until I realized I needed to stop and take a look and see what it was that I wanted to move to, not away from. So that should be the same thing for you. So here's what I want you to do right now today. Calculate that number. Age subtracted from 75 times 52. Write it down somewhere that you'll see it. Not to make you anxious, but to remind you that that goal isn't just to reach retirement. The goal is to reach it while you still have time to fully live it. That's what Freedom Day is all about. I'd love to know, what's your go goal? The one that's the most exciting for you when you hit your Freedom Day. Drop it in the comments and subscribe if you haven't, because this week we are really just getting started. And I'll see you here with the next video.